Hello friends and welcome to Vintage Sports Shack and welcome back to another episode of Fun Day Friday. That's right, today's Friday and I got a great episode for you. Today I'm going to explain to you how PSA controls the pop count. So as always guys, stand up, stretch out, because away we go. Alright guys, today I'm going to talk about PSA and pop count control. I know a lot of you have questions about do they control the pop count, and I'm going to go through it the best I can. I've kind of explained it to a couple people, so hopefully this will make sense. The way I come at it and the way I explain it. But first, I want to go over a few things. Contest! Don't forget the 2,000 subscriber contest. I lost a few subscribers because I guess they don't like knowing that they need insurance and that their insurance is fake or something. I lost like 5 subscribers. So, help me out. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. May. This is 87 bucks of Donruss. 1B to 300B. I'm going to give that away for May contest. Then I wanted to bring up this weekend. Always get confused. Kalamazoo, Battle Creek. The show is in Kalamazoo. May 11th, 9 to 3. It's at the Kalamazoo Expo Center, 2900 Lake Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's 170 tables. Trade night is tonight. I'm not going to be there tonight. Sorry guys, 6 to 10. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll be there tomorrow, and I hope to see everybody. But topic today, I wanted to get on PSA's pop count and how they control it. I know a lot of you out there think they just say, oh, we're going to give this grade this. I'm going to go through this, and the way they control pop count is through undue influence. And you guys think, well, how are you going to put this all together? I'm going to put this all together, 1, with my appraisal background, 2, with my phone call with Jackie Carriel, and 3, with Jeff Wilson's interview with whatever, Hoge, Mr. Hoge, I forget his name, a week and a half ago. But the way they control it is with undue influence. And I know a lot of you don't understand undue influence, but in 2007, during the market crash of 2008, there was a congressional act put out. It's called the Dodd-Frank Act of 2008. And it explains what undue influence is. Back in 2000, well, prior to 2007, a bank would tell you, basically, go appraise this house. This is the customer's estimate value. If you didn't hit that value enough times, you'd end up losing your work from that bank. So the government came in and put in a middleman. It's called what? Appraisal management company. So the bank's got to go through the appraisal management company. The appraisal management company sends it to the appraiser. The bank cannot tell them who and who not. Well, not supposed to. Again, if you don't get enough, hit that number. But that's another story. Anyhow, undue influence. How it works at PSA. First, I listened to his conversation. Now, everybody knows I've never had a problem with PSA. I've always blamed it on us. Send in good cards, which I still do believe. You got to send in good cards. Stop sending them your garbage. Stop hoping they give you 10s. But over the last few weeks, 3 weeks, I've been hearing things that just don't click right and don't make sense. And the more and more I listen to these interviews and the more I talk to Jackie, and trust me, this woman was furious with me and she was saying things she probably shouldn't have. But that's why I get people furious. So they slip up. So they say things that they shouldn't. But anyhow, back to the undue influence. Mr. Hoge said in that interview that they have great training. And when I talked to Jackie, she was like, great training, we have the best training, testing, blah, blah, blah. When they get out, They're ready to go with whatever we trained them to do. Whatever cards, they're good to go. Well, in that interview with Mr. Hoge, Jeff Wilson asked him, about pop count and this and that. And he's, oh no, we don't pop count. But occasionally, if we're getting too many 10s, we'll retrain. Well, what Jackie told me, because I asked her about grades, they don't need retrained. There's no retraining necessary because your grades get looked at once, twice, sometimes 3 times by 3 different people. So I brought up to her, but Mr. Hoge says sometimes when you get too many grades of 10s or 9s, you could have gave me 9s and this could have been a crew that was given too many 9s. Maybe they need retrained and I got 10s. That's what he said, but you're saying no. She didn't like that. I tried to explain to her how that's undue influence on the pop count. I tried to explain to her, ma'am, if you're telling people, if you're getting too much 10s and too many 9s, and then you're telling these people, well, we got to retrain you to balance it out, because they ran an analytic, and they found out how many 10s and how many 9s, 8s has been customary, and they're trying to follow that. Listen to Mr. Hoge's interview with Jeff Wilson. He explains what they did with the analytics and how it controls, and when they get too many 10s, they'll go out and they'll tell them, hey, we're getting too many 10s. But what they don't understand is the printing process. They have no... You shouldn't get 10s because PSA says they're 10s. You should get 10s because the printing press printed off perfect cards. And that's something I wanted to hit on. When I worked at that printing company back in the 80s when I was going to college, there was times that we're on a run and they were just hitting, boom. We didn't want to change anything, didn't want to stop the machine. We had the splicer on the back with the paper. I mean, the paper was good, no loose edges. Ink was perfect. There was times that press would run 5-6 days and not shut off, and you're like, man, just keep it running. We were running long runs like for the government and things that you didn't have to shut it off. But the same thing happens at the print shop for the cards. There's going to be times they're going to hit good paper, good ink, good, and and they're going to have new blades on the cutting machines and they're going to cut perfect. And them cards should all be 10s, no matter what they want. But if they all come through in 10s, they're going to retrain them and say, hey, wait a minute, there's too many 10s. But if you talk to them, Jackie Curiel said, if it's a 10, it's a 10, we give it to them. And I was like, but Jackie, back to Mr. Hoge saying, if too many 10s, you retrain so they don't give us many 10s. So undue influence. And you say, well, they don't directly tell them. This is what I want to get to. You don't think these graders go out on break. They don't talk to each other. They don't got each other's back. Most of the people that are getting hired are probably family members, people they know, friends, trying to bring in dependable people. So you don't think they're trying to have each other's backs if you're out there grading? Hey guys, I mean, you've seen how close they're together. Anyone grade something out of 50? What'd you give it? 10? Great. Boom, 9. You don't think that happens? They're going to tell you it don't. But if you listen to them carefully and watch their interviews, you're going to notice, yeah, undue influence. Go back and look at the Dodd-Frank Act and look at what undue influence they put into their minds, Oh, we can't have too much of this, too much of that. Then it just becomes natural after they get into the process. They just get natural. Oh, I did so many 10s, now I need 9s. Now I need 10s today, now I need 9s. And I bring that up because lately I've been paying full attention to the cards. The last few I had 7 out of 10 PSA 10s. 10 out of 12 PSA 10s. Then I get that order of 20 and there's 4 out of 20. I get them all back. I put my thing up. There's nothing wrong with them, guys. It depends on what they get and when they get it. This next order I come up, and you're like, well, that was just lucky the two. No, this next order I coming up, and I'll show you it. I think I get it tomorrow at the show. Right back. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 PSA 10s. 2 were 9s, and 1 was an 8. That Adley Rushman that I'm going to give out next week in pop-up. So if you want a nice Adley Rushman card. Also, I wanted to get to the 80s cards. This contradicts their trading and also proves that they're keeping pop counts low on 80s cards. Jeff Wilson asked him about the 80s cards fresh out of a pack. Look perfect. You send them in, they get an 8, a 7, a 6. And Mr. Hodge says, well, that's how this younger generation looks at these older cards. They're already negative towards them. But he never once mentioned retraining. Mr. Hodge, why don't you retrain them and tell them a fresh pack card out of 1989. Explain to them. Oh, look at that. Nope, it's not who I thought. Anyhow, explain to them. These are just like the modern cards. You know, fresh out of a pack, what do they look like? The corners are sharp. If the centering's good. They don't retrain them from the 80s. They don't want high grades on the 80s. They got enough. And they haven't changed their grading scale from the old label to the new label. It's just they have younger people grading them with a different opinion. And they don't want to alter that opinion. They don't want to undue influence that opinion. They don't want to give them training to retrain to relook at the older cards because they have enough. And there's so much of this stuff printed. They know forever they're going to get this. So they don't want to change. They don't want to place undue influence on the 80s stuff. And guys, the reason this is boring today and I wanted to bring it up. A lot of you have a lot of expensive cards in PSA slabs. And you're spending a lot of money. And you have insurance on them and you're protecting them. I explained to you that conformity is what drives value. What is conformity? It's just whatever the crowd likes. A few years ago it was Beckett. Now it's PSA. You guys guarantee me with all the undue influence and all the shenanigans going on at PSA that your PSA slabs are going to be the most valuable in 10 years? When PSA allows card cleaning and they can't detect it? We'll get into what I mean by allows it later. That's another part of the conversation that Miss Curiel got so frustrated. She probably shouldn't have told me a few things. But you're going to trust spending thousands of dollars on a card that you could get for way less raw, that looks in good condition, that you could later send to a grading company that's popular at that era? If you're long-term holding and you think it's an investment, I wouldn't be buying it in any graded slab. 20 years, you don't know if that slab's going to be important or not. If PSA is going to be the joke in 20 years, and SGC or HDA or probably some AI is going to be, and I'm not saying tag or making a preference, I'm just telling you what's probably going to happen. And those cards in your PSA slabs with the wax on them probably going to be detected. So I guess I'm telling you, unless you've got the money to waste, don't be investing because their cards aren't investment. I seen someone asked a question on SCV's comments, said, hey, I'm trying to get Herbert and this, what do you think's good investments? And his answer was, I don't know. Nobody really knows what a good investment is. Guys, I do know what a bad investment is and a good investment is. A bad investment is sports cards. A good investment, real estate. Pretty simple. But a lot of us out there can't afford real estate nowadays, as they say. So I get why you go into baseball cards. But as always, guys, comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'm How much faith are you going to put into PSA? See? Not too much. Peace. Have a super great day. Why'd we come here?